Hello students, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been so long that I have been in touch with you people, especially for the students of class 10th and 12th for board exams who are appearing for board exams this year. So I thought that I'll join back you again on particularly right now I'll be doing class 12th and very soon I'm going to touch class 10th also. Now this time as the patterns have been changed and I will focus on those long type questions which have more value, marks value, that is for 5 marks actually. So how to attempt, like if you get 3 questions and out of 3 you have to do 2, or maybe 4 questions and out of 4 you have to do 3. So 10 to 15 marks you cannot lose, because that is more important, and on that you can get good marks and good percentage also. So I'll be covering chapter wise. This time I'm covering lesson, the last lesson, that is actually a first lesson, but the name of the lesson is last lesson. So first I will read out the question to you. I will give you the answer also, and then in between I'll be letting you know how to attempt, how you can score more marks, So welcome back again, and I hope all of you are fine. So let's start with the lesson, last lesson. And the first question is, and these questions, you have to answer in 120 to 150 words. Remember that 150 words means that is the upper limit. You don't have to cross that. But the answer should be between 120 to 150. So the first question is, though tempted by the bright day, Franz stated that he had the strength to resist and hurried off to school. As the story progressed, the reader realizes that Franz, M. Hamel and the villagers would perhaps need the strength to resist much larger forces. Discuss how the story provides strategies for resistance and protection of one's identity and community through its events and characters. Provide relevant textual details to support your arguments. Now this is from the CBSE question bank actually. What answer you can write in that? Now let me just tell you. See, the story, the last lesson, provides many strategies for resistance from various points in the story, if you have read the lesson thoroughly. The first is selective ignorance. Franz ignores the bulletin board since he knows that it is a source of bad news. Number 2, the villagers and Franz would need to ignore some things selectively when the Germans oppress them. Third, M. Hamel is kind to Franz even though he is late for class. Number 4, kindness is the next strategy of resistance. The villagers will have to be kind to each other when the tough time starts, especially when there will be food shortages naturally. The third strategy for resistance would be language learning. The villagers need to keep the French language alive through underground classes. Why I am using the word underground classes? Or even writing and communicating amongst themselves in French, especially behind the locked door. The final strategy for resistance would be courage, because the villagers would need a lot of courage to face what would be coming into their lives. So now you understand how you have to give the answer. So you can do one thing, you can just take out your copy, note down the points, so that you can easily go through that when you attempt for pre-boards or boards. Okay. So next question will be, what was the difference between M. Hamel as a teacher before and after the Berlin Order. See, here you have to concentrate and keep a tight record what he was earlier and what he was later on. Okay, before the Berlin Order, M. Hamel was a strict teacher who used his terrible iron ruler and scolded children who did not revise their lessons or were late, like Franz. Children were scared of his ruler. He sometimes sent students like Franz to do errands, such as to water his plants. He also took it easy when it suited him, sometimes giving the day off to the students if he wanted to take off himself. After the Berlin Order, everything changed. M. Hamel changed. He did not use the iron ruler. He became a kind and considerate teacher. He did not scold Franz when he was late for the class and did not answer the question on French participles. Instead, he took a philosophical view of his failure. He was also emotional since the Berlin Order ended his career as a teacher in that school after 40 years. So now you can understand how H. Hamel had got his life changed completely because he became quite patriotic. I hope when you read the lesson you can easily understand that. The third question which I am going to attempt is, what impact did the Franco-Prussian War have on the school in the village of Alsace, France? Substantiate with reference to the text. The Franco-Prussian War had a deep impact on the school in Alsace, France. An order went from the seat of the Prussian government in Berlin that the medium of instruction would henceforth be in German. Hence, a teacher was sent to that village to teach German. This order affected not just M. Hamel because he has to leave his 40 years job as a teacher, but also the students and villagers who loved their teacher. This order also significantly affected the linguistic identity of the villagers who were French, but they were forced to talk in German. So students who all along were learning the French language were now forced to switch to German. Now you understand what type of questions you can get in your board exams. So let us go to the fourth question. What is M. Hamel's contribution to the French language? It's very easy. M. Hamel contributed a lot to the French language. In terms of year, naturally 40 years he had spent his life in teaching French in a village. In his career as a village school teacher, he taught students not just the mechanics of the language, but also to take pride in their own language. He believed, why I'm saying that to take pride in their own language, that was after the Berlin Order came. Okay, so you keep this thing in your mind. He believed that the French language was not only the most beautiful but also the clearest and the most logical language. He had a strong sense of patriotic pride which was intrinsically connected to the language. In passing on his beliefs to the students, he also contributed to strengthening their French identity. Now I'll be coming on the fifth question, and that will be the last for today's video, but otherwise video will be too long. What does it mean when M. Hamel says we have all a great deal to reproach ourselves with? Answer. M. Hamel was talking about the people of the village when he said we in this sentence. He included even himself in the group. He believed that because the adults in the village did not take the education of children like Franz seriously before, they had to pay the price for it now. He mentioned that Franz alone was not responsible for not knowing the rules of French participles, but also his parents who wanted him to work in the fields rather than go to class. He blamed himself as well for sending friends to water his flowers or declaring a holiday when it was convenient for him. Now, actually, this question can come in another way. Why he blamed himself for the children not learning, or maybe the old people who are to be blamed, who did not pay attention to French language. I hope you would like the video, and if you like, please like, comment and share. Thank you.